Hello everyone, welcome back to Skeledon, Bushcraft and Survival. Glad you could join me. Just like the title says, what would be the best knife for a beginner bushcrafter? Well, that's a really good and hard question to answer. I'll do my best. Really, the only way that I'm going to be able to do that is go through the fundamental features that you'd be looking for, and you go from there. Alright, before we start the video and what the video is all about, I want to do a couple of shout outs. So I'll leave a link in the description for all these. The first off, it's going to be my brother. My brother just started an awesome new channel. He's got a video up, more to come, a lot of humor, a lot of great times outdoors. I'm hoping that all my friends will just hop on over there, give him a subscription, subscribe, like, comment, and all that stuff, and show him your love. Moving right along, BushcraftBums. Awesome friends of mine. Needs no introduction. They are awesome, funny, a lot of information, years of experience and knowledge that it really is fun to watch. I enjoy it every single time they pop up a new video. Along with BushcraftBums, their nephew just started out a new channel. So I'm really excited about seeing where he's going to go with that one as well. Now, that one is OutdoorsBrothers. I'll leave a link in the description, all these, and make sure that I'm saying the names right. But nevertheless, though, he's got an awesome video up. I can't wait to see what he comes up with next. Bushcraft Bytes, another awesome friend of mine. He's got years of knowledge, years of experience, and loads of skill, and loads of videos up to watch. So check him out. Moving right along with Vanessa Blunk. Now, Wild Woman Bushcraft, good friend of mine. And she needs no introduction. She has already made a name for herself. She's awesome. She's made awesome videos. And she's been around on YouTube for quite a while. But she's my friend, and I always give a shout out to my friends. Also, I haven't talked about him in a really long time. However, that does not mean that I have forgot him. Lars from Survival Russia. A lot of you that have already been subscribed to me knows about Survival Russia. But any newcomers or anything like that right there, please, he's a friend of mine, check him out too. He's been on YouTube for a long while. He's got awesome videos up. He shows what he does out in the tundras of Russia, It's really interesting viewing, so definitely check him out. Well, that's going to be it for all the shout outs. Let's go on with the video. Now, first thing that I want to cover before we go into the fundamental features that one would be looking for a beginner bushcrafter, somebody starting out in this, is that we are basing everything off of fixed blade. Folders are great for EDC. However, fixed blade has benefits that a folder just doesn't have. So for this video, we're going to concentrate on the fixed blade only. Now, having said that, let's go over the basic features, the fundamental features that one should be looking for a beginner bushcraft knife. Let's start off with the easiest one, price. Now, for a beginner, price is a huge deal, as in cheap. You want it quite affordable. You don't want things to be heavy on the pocket. You go out and you buy a Morakniv. It is an awesome bushcraft knife for several reasons. However, the price is kind of steep. And for a beginner, you want to keep it cheap for two reasons. Number one, you don't want to go out and spend a lot of money on gear just to have it sit in a closet collecting dust in a couple of months because of lack of interest. And number two, as a beginner and learning, things do happen. Mistakes happen. And if you damage the knife anyway, going and replacing that knife, you don't want that to be too steep. If it's a $13 knife, it's not that bad to go and replace. If it's a $70 and up knife, that is hard on the pocket. Now, when it comes to keeping things cheap and affordable, you don't want to sacrifice anything, right? So that brings us into the second major fundamental feature that you're looking for, and that's quality. And quality is really hard to find, but it's out there for affordable cost. In fact, Mora has a really good line of cheaper, high quality knives that you can choose from. Now, I have my Morakniv here, and I want to point out the grip. The grip is good, for right-handed, left-handed, and the different styles of grip that you would be using. It feels good to the hand, and it's non-slip. So a grip is a fundamental feature that you want to be looking for. It has a little dip right here that your knuckle slides right into, and it just fits the hand right. You're looking for something that fits your hand right in size as well. This right here is perfect for me, but if somebody has smaller hands, it might not be. So the grip is definitely important for several reasons. I've mentioned in the past videos that I prefer a wooden handle. However, this one right here, rubber grip, it's comfortable with the hands, doesn't slip. I love it just the way it is. Cosmetically, I like wood handles, but yeah, this looks good too. Nice firm grip. So this style of grip right here, I would definitely suggest. But there's another style as well. It's almost like this right here, except for it has a little bit of a piece of plastic coming up here a little higher as a guard. I've seen this with Mora. I've seen this with other knives as well. And for a beginner bushcrafter, I would say that that would be a really good one, especially for a kid, you know, first starting out, being taught with, of course, supervision. Having that nice protective grip right there to prevent the sliding up onto the blade is a good feature. The next feature that we want to look at is, like I said before, the full tang. Now, for a beginner bushcrafter, a full tang may not be something that is very important. It is good. I prefer it because there's a few things that you're going to be using, you know, a knife for in practice that requires a full tang. However, a lot of your Moras that you say, and I'm not trying to push Mora on anybody, it's just the one brand that I know of that has both high quality and low prices. And of course it does have a lot of different features that I can pull off of, and most people know what a Mora looks like, and so it's a lot easier to relate that. But nevertheless though, using that Mora, I've seen that the blade itself, the handle, it comes back and it stops like halfway. It's actually pretty good. Even though that it's not a full tang, it's still pretty good. It's in the handle securely. Now, one thing that you don't want to be getting, and you want to avoid completely, is what they call the wire tang. The wire tang is just one piece of rod that is welded onto the knife blade and then screwed on with the threaded, you know, pommel. Those will not last. Those will definitely fail you. And when you're out and about and you're learning, you definitely want the experiences of the fun of learning opposed to the experiences of your knife failing, and yeah, that's just not fun. Next up, steel type. Now, I have my own personal opinion of what a beginner should start off with. However, that's my opinion because I started off that way. However, most commonly, it's probably going to be the other. The two are carbon steel and stainless steel. Now, in my opinion, a beginner should start off with carbon steel. And the reason why is because it takes maintenance, and you got to take care of it and make sure that it doesn't rust, and it should be just a common practice along with the rest of your skills. However, most commonly, it's going to be stainless steel. And the reason why is because they can concentrate more on what they're doing and learning and the different skill sets and stuff like that, and not have to worry about the maintenance really about the knife, oiling it and keeping it in pristine condition. Now, here is the part of the video that we're going to go on with grinds, edge grinds. Scandi grind, in my opinion, based on logic, is the best grind that you could possibly be looking for several reasons. Number one, with a Scandi grind on how it is ground, it's going straight down. In fact, I'll just go ahead and bring out my Mora Garberg on that one right there, because it is in fact a Scandi grind. It starts up at top, it comes straight down to an edge. Easy sharpen. It's easy to put it up on the stone, nice and flat, keep it flat all the way through, and get a nice edge on it. The second reason is that it holds an edge for a very long time. And 9 times out of 10, it's not metal removal, it's just re-edge alignment. The second thing about a Scandi grind that I've heard is that it's the worst grind possible to be used for food prep. Well, I disagree with that from personal experience. I have used a Scandi grind to prep food, fillet fish, so on and so forth. In fact, in some ways, it's easier. Now, a fillet knife is flexible, and of course, with a Scandi grind, it's not. However, you feel the blade going through. You're able to fillet that just as easy if you know what you're doing and you've had experience with it. And the only way to know what you're doing is getting that experience with it, and you will mess up a couple of times until you figure it out. So it's, you know, in the long run, easier to fillet a fish with it. The point is that with a bushcraft knife, you're looking for something that is versatile both directions. Being able to go out there and carve your notches for tent stakes, for shelters, for traps. You're wanting to be able to use your knife to cut cordage and well, to cut things, right? Process firewood, you know, making feather sticks and stuff like that. And of course, batoning is one of them. However, I will make a completely different video when it comes to batoning, because batoning is a good thing to practice. However, it is a bad practice. There are a few reasons why that you would need to baton a knife, but they are very, very few and far between. If that knife is the only thing that you have in a survival situation, there are very specific reasons why you would want to baton it, because you definitely don't want to mess it up. It's the only thing you got, right? So, do I do batoning? Yes, I do. Do I agree that there is a reason? Well, yes, there is. Is it a good practice to do all the time? No, it's not, because knives are not made to baton with. That's what axes are for. But if you don't have an axe and a knife is the only thing you have, there are certain reasons why you would have to baton a knife, and a Scandi grind does an excellent job with that. Going back to the food prep, it skins, it fillets, it dresses, it takes care of the food work really well. So having that happy medium, you're not going to be carrying a set of knives out with you in the woods so that you have the right knife for the job. It's a good idea to use the right tool for the job, but at the same time, you're limited, you know, what you're going to be carrying. So having that happy medium, a Scandi grind, really tops just about any other grind. Well, there is another grind that's really good as well for the same reasons, and that's a convex grind. But my point is that it really is an awesome grind. So you see a lot of knives with Scandi grinds, and a lot of people don't like them for various reasons. But like I said, it's an opinion, but there's logic behind it. Now let's talk about maintenance. Now there are a few things that I've already mentioned, so we're going to just do a recap on maintenance. Now for a beginner bushcrafter, they want less maintenance for the actual knife so that they can actually get out and use it and get the experience with it and learn. Now, there's a few things to think about maintenance, and there's a few things to make things easier, like going with a stainless steel blade. You don't have to worry about oiling it all the time and rusting, you know, to prevent rusting. With a Scandi grind, it's easier to sharpen, and it's easier to get that experience, and also it's very little sharpening that ever needs to be done with a Scandi grind. And 9 times out of 10, like I said, it is just realigning the edge with a strop, opposed to actually removing metal. And then of course you have the handle grip. Now a handle grip for maintenance is important, because if you got something like a wooden grip, then while you're processing food, you don't have little parts, you know, and fats and stuff like that getting intermingled into the handle, and it's easy to clean up. If you're going with a rubber grip that has a whole bunch of grooves in it, it gets kind of difficult after a while. So the grip is another part of mount maintenance, choosing the right grip for that. And weight. You want to keep the weight down. If it's too heavy, it just gets in the way. It's not so easy to use. However, it's too light, same thing. You know, Mora has a few lighter knives and are really good for neck knives and stuff like that. However, for me, it doesn't have the weight to help me through, and it makes using it unpleasurable. So keeping a happy balance, happy medium balance in between, definitely something to be looking for. So that's pretty much it. That covers all the fundamental features that one should be looking for with a beginner bushcrafter, or for a knife for a beginner bushcrafter. I hope that I covered everything decently, and like I said, I'm going to be leaving some links in the description of different knives that knives that I would say would be a good choice for a beginner. And hopefully that helps you out. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you did, smash that like button, comment, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And remember, nature, it does provide.